Hi everyone, it's Nichol Spohr and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to be sharing a new box pop-up card using the brand new Mama Elephant Slim Scenescape Builder. This is part of the May 2021 release, and what is so awesome, very much like the A2 sized pop-up builder, this is made to fit the very popular slimline style. So when folded flat, it will fit in a slimline envelope. I think this is so brilliant and so much fun, and I am going to show you the creation of the pop-up card first. Starting with, there's a background piece. There's two different options for the side panels. I'm going to use the angled panels. I'm going to use 3 of the inserts and then the front part of the box. There is also a straight side panel. There's layering pieces for the sides, for the front, and then there is one that can be used on the front of the back panel piece, or front and back, or front or back. I'm only going to use that layering piece on the back of my box. Now I die cut all of my components for the Slim Scenescape Builder from Smooth White cardstock. I am masking off the tabs where I'm going to add adhesive, and I'm going to tell you why. I find that the adhesive sticks better to a non-inked surface. So I'm just using a little Post-it tape to mask that off, and then I'm adding color to build my scene with inks. This is Lawn Fawn Artichoke ink applied with a ink blending tool. We're going to do this to all 3 of the inside panels. These are the pieces that we're going to actually adhere all of our little scene to that builds that depth and dimension. And then I'm also going to apply the artichoke ink to the side panels and the front panel. So basically all of these are going to be quote unquote a grass surface. If you were building a winter scene, you could leave them white or add just a little touch of blue to them for snow. You could definitely have these be any kind of surface that you want. I will tell you that Mama Elephant did come out with a add-on for this that creates a rainbow. I will be sharing some projects with that coming up here soon in the next couple weeks or so. So definitely stay tuned for that. But lots and lots of options here for building all kinds of cute scenes. And my Post-it tape is sticking to my surface so much I'm using my Spellbinders tool and one to pick that up. I do want to mention really quick, in addition to all the pieces you get and the options you get for adding layering pieces and building this slim scenescape, there is 3 clouds and then a little set of star dies. I am using the clouds. I'm not going to use the stars today, but it's a fantastic option. I always love having lots of little die cut pieces for when I need them. You really get a ton in this die set. Now we're going to add color to the side panels really quick. I'm just reusing my Post-it tape for all of these pieces. We'll add a little stenciling to the background piece for a cloudy sky. And then I'm going to assemble this, and we are going to start coloring all of our images for the scene. I think I've mentioned this before in similar videos. I will link to a video where I did some pop-up cards, box cards using Mama Elephant dies at the end of this video. Plus, in the description box down below, I'm going to leave links to all of my past pop-up card type box card projects, whether it is Mama Elephant or Lawn Fawn, so you can maybe get some inspiration for how these are created. I will tell you that you need quite a few images, in my opinion, just because it builds the depth and dimension and adds interest. So while I'm going to focus on the brand new Flower Shower stamp set from the May release, that's all of the cute critters that are holding flowers, the little turtle, the puddles of rain. I am going to go look for similar images in my stash that complement the style of these critters, and I'm going to add them to my scene card. And we'll talk about that as we're coloring and assembling, just because I feel like that really creates that complete photo, picture, scene, whatever you want to call it, of this little scene card. I really think it's important. I always call it shopping my stash, and it's one of my favorite things. I think I've mentioned it a ton this last week, just with the different videos I've done for Fawn and Colorado Craft Company. But I love when companies keep bringing out stamp sets that coordinate or complement previously released sets. It extends the life of the product that we have already invested in. It makes you be able to, or allows you to be able to make completely new scenes, and it's just such an awesome option. I am using some Lawn Fawn 1/4 inch double-sided adhesive. It's really strong adhesive. I am also using my bone folder to make sure that I have really strong creases. I think it makes the assembly much better. I am going to place the side panels on each side. I'm also burnishing that adhesive to the card, to the back of the box. I want to make sure that this is going to stay together and not pop apart easily. Because remember, it's interactive in the fact that it's going to fold flat and pop up into your card shape. Once we have our side panels, let's go ahead and adhere our front panel on one side only. So this is something even in the original box cards that I did as well. We're going to line that up with one side panel and adhere that. Kind of make sure it's nice and straight. I'm going to burnish that, make sure it's adhered. This is what it's going to look like, but we're going to wait to adhere that second side of the box. Now we want to go ahead and kind of figure out our placement for our grassy hills. And I'm going to score each of these with the bone folder. Add my adhesive to all these tabs, so 6 little pieces of adhesive. I'm tearing it. It might be easier to just cut it. I was being lazy. These need to be adhered then along that angled side, whether you use the angle or the straight side. So that little small piece, we want to adhere them. We don't want to adhere it flush because that's going to put that hill right against there. So kind of ignore what I just did. I had a brief moment where I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I guess I forgot how to put together a box card, y'all. It's been a minute since I've done one, and now that I have created one, I can't wait to create more. So we're just gonna kind of try to, as evenly as possible, space these along that sloped edge. If you use the straight edge, same thing with that, just place them against that edge. This is gonna give us the inside pieces. What I love about the angle, it means that they're gonna gradually get taller towards the back of the card, which gives you some nice little hills. As we start assembling here in a minute, something to keep in mind when you choose images for your card, everything needs to stay below the top of the back panel. Anything you adhere to those different layers in our box card need to be only as tall as the back of the card. And as we assemble that, we'll talk more about that. Now I am making sure to lay each of these layers, all 3 of the inside panels and the front one, nice and flat. I'm going to remove the backing paper from all of those tabs, fold over the side, and then pop it up into the box card shape. It makes it easy, and that way everything is exactly even. There's no guesswork. Okay, time to talk about extra images. So this little chick is actually from Party Animals, which has been out for a few years. It is the same style as the chick from Flower Shower. That is why I picked it. There is nothing on it that says party. There's no party hat. Now, if I wanted to create a birthday card, a party hat would be super cute, but I was just looking for images that would complement. So we've got a chick there, and then the chick with the leaf is from Flower Shower, the new set. I am doing no line coloring today using Tombow dual brush markers. I've used Lawn Fawn Jellyfish no line coloring ink to stamp my images. This is a scrap of Bristol Smooth cardstock. You can tell the other images I used on here were Anita Jerem images. I always save all of my little scraps and pieces of Bristol Smooth cardstock since it's my favorite cardstock for no line coloring, whether it's with Tombows or Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I will hold off adding detail to the faces of my critters until the ink is dried a little bit. I'll probably go on, color in my bunnies here. Now the bunny with the flower, of course, is from Flower Shower. The individual bunny is from the Bunny's Hop. So Mama Elephant has a great collection of stamp sets that have like those entire borders of critters that all like are the same for the most part. We're going to be using the Bunny's Hop, the dog's Woof, the cat's Meow, all of those because the critters really match the style of Flower Shower. If you have a stamp timber set from Simon Says Stamp, and I believe it's from 2 to 3 years ago, I cannot exactly remember, there are similar style images in that set that would work really nice with Flower Shower, which I think is fun. So definitely, if you have that, check it out. It's a stamp timber set, so obviously if you know about stamp timber, it's a once a year event from Simon Says Stamp. They have exclusive limited editions, and once those sets are gone, they're gone. But if you all have that, it is a fantastic option to play nicely with this new set. Going to do a little coloring. Now the big flowers I think are really fun because they're like umbrellas, either leaves or flowers that these little cuties are holding, and I think that's really, really cute and fun. I kind of did like a flower garden-ish type of scene. We're going to add some extra flowers and leaves, and then some little clouds up in the sky with my favorite technique for these box cards. And then we've got critters popping up. I actually meant to add a dog because I tried to do a critter from each extra set, and I realized I forgot when I got done with my card, but I don't really feel like I need it, so it's fine. But I will tell you I intended to use an extra critter from each because we've got a little kitty holding up a sign, we have a bunny peeking up, and then we have that little chick, and I just forgot my extra dog. Darn it. Oh well, next time. But that's kind of my thought process behind this. So of course, this kitty is from Flower Shower that we're coloring right now. The little kitty that's going to be peeking up, that is going to be from the cat's Meow. Also from the cat's Meow will be the little signage that the kitty is holding. I purposely picked one of the kittens with its paw up so it can be holding the sign. On the sign, there is a couple of sentiments in the cat's Meow. I ended up using the hello from the dog's Woof. So mixing and matching at its finest here today. I actually incorporated a lot of previously released stamp sets. Let's see how many actually. I believe 5. Yes, it is 5. The dog's Woof, the cat's Meow, the bunny's Hop, Party Animals, and then the long sentiment along the front of the card is from Friendship Sentiments. So 5 previously released stamp sets from the past few years. None of these are brand new by any means, which I think is fun. I love being able to incorporate those previously released sets. This flower may have ended up being one of my favorites. I am always apprehensive about combining colors. I'm so much more comfortable doing more of a monochromatic type of look, but we're gonna do kind of a pinky purple type, or a yellow pinky purple, gosh, look for these petals, and I love, love, love it. It takes a little work. We're gonna have to go over everything a little bit, add in some extra feathering and shading and all of that good stuff, but it definitely is worth it, and it's going to end up looking so, so cute. This flower probably took the most time simply because I worked a little extra hard at it. As I move on to other images, you will notice I'm also going back with my black fine tip pen, adding in detail for eyes. I've mentioned this in previous videos, but if you haven't seen those, I do want to mention it here. I often will wait a few minutes before adding that while these water-based markers dry. I have found if I immediately take my black pen, it might be the pens I'm using, I don't know, but if I immediately take them to the project, sometimes they bleed and it'll wick out into what I've just colored. I definitely don't want to ruin all of that hard work, and so I just generally just wait a minute and make sure it's good and dry. Little puppy here. We're going to do a little brown. And then this final flower is going to be a deep dark purple. I stuck with this color theme. I know my friends who have, I've used quite a bit of purple lately, or kind of purpley pink, whatever. This is more purple pink today, but I've used some more of those shades. I know y'all who have been with me a while and know that I have said purple has not been my favorite in the past are probably so surprised. You guys have totally invited me in to the dark side, the purple loving side. I have just really been into it lately. I don't know what it is, but I love this deep dark color. It really reminds me of some daisies that I saw at the nursery the other day when we were buying some plants and flowers and stuff to decorate our front and back yard, that I just absolutely loved. I even bought quite a few flowers that are purple, so I'm not going to say anymore that I'm not a purple person. I think I might be. Now, these are not all the images that I'm going to end up using. On another piece of paper, this was a scrap, remember? And I had filled this in pretty well. Didn't think I could fit anything else on here. So I'm going to use another piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, and that's going to have some individual flowers from the bunny's hop, some individual leaves, water puddles from flower shower, splashing water, all of that good stuff is going to be on this other piece of paper. Add little bits of color. I am loving this green color combination. I've been using it a ton lately. It is dark olive and light olive Tombow dual brush markers. And then I'm going to have these little individual flowers, for the most part, match the flowers that I already have. So we're going to have another pink flower, another purple flower, and then I did off camera, I don't believe I kept that or videoed it, I ended up adding a little yellow flower to fill in another area on my card. Don't be afraid to add more. As I mentioned, this is one of those projects where I think the more the better. It just gives you so much to look at and is so, just fills out your scene perfectly by adding more pieces. Once I've colored in the signage that has dried a little bit, I will just take the hello from the dog's woof and stamp hello on that little signage. Now that we have our box, I am going to start gluing things in place. I kind of like to hold them and see where they're going to go. And I feel like it's easier to assemble the images with the box shape. It can be tricky. I left this in. I fought with that little hello sign a lot just because we're using liquid adhesive. It's gonna take a second to dry, and it is trickier to assemble it in the box form instead of flat, but it's very, very hard to see where everything is going to fall if you are doing it flat. It just doesn't give you as good of an idea of making sure nothing is right behind another image, and you just get your depth and dimension so much better if you do it in the box shape. So I am making sure, adhering everything. All these cute little flowers, it's coming together. I hope you can kind of start seeing the vision now for it. I like these little images from the cat's meow and the bunnies hop and things, because they kind of just peek up behind these little hills. There's just so many things you could even add to this in addition to what you see here. We're gonna save that little chick image. He's actually gonna be playing in a water puddle along the front panel of the card. One of my favorite things to do is to take some acetate, and I usually just cut a nice little thin strip. This is some Lawn Fawn acetate, and we are going to create little picks to stick in our box card. So I'm going to put some adhesive at the top and pop a cloud on it. So this is going to make our clouds appear to be just hovering in the background. By applying them to acetate, it looks like they're floating, and we're going to stick those back behind different layers. I am using the double-sided adhesive here to do that. So adhesive at the top where the cloud sticks to it, and then adhesive where it sticks to the back of each of these layers, or however you want to do that. I'm adding 3. We're going to have like 2 over here on the left side and 1 over on the right. Do make sure that these stay within the confines of the back of the box. That's going to ensure that when you slip this into your Slimline envelope, it's going to fit. Now with a box like this, you might be asking, where will I handwrite my sentiment? That can go on the back panel. Remember, I told you there's a layering piece. We will get to that in a minute. I'm going to show you how I'm going to customize that as well. I just used one thin little strip. I think it's 8.5 inches long, and that was perfect for 3 little picks. You can even add your critters to this. Let's say you've got some little floating balloon images or whatever. Stick those on some little clear acetate picks, and it will look like they're floating up here in the clouds. It's a great way to fill in the scene. I think little airplanes would be cute, hot air balloons. There's just so many fun ideas out there. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this slim Scenescape builder. Just secure all of these. See how those are floating? So cute. We'll add one more. Then the layering piece for the front of the slim Scenescape. So there is a stitched panel piece that fits the front. Remember, there's also pieces for the side if you want to do something there. I did not for this card, but you definitely can, whether it's the straight or the angled. We're going to do the stitched long piece for the front. If you want, there's even a banner that you can add on top of that to have even more layers. I'm not using the banner today because the phrase I wanted to use was really wide and too wide for the banner itself. So we're just going to use the stitched panel along the front of the card. I used a sentiment from the Friendship Sentiments here and stamped it with artichoke ink on that white stitched panel. You can see we're going to be using the chick. We're going to add a little water puddle and a little splash from Flower Shower right here to decorate that up super, super cute. I'm using a little peacock blue and glacier blue for the water puddles. I did stamp 2 of those. I ended up stamping 2. The other one I did off camera because I felt like I needed a little something else. And the little water splash. There's not coordinating dies for the water splash. I actually switched out this front stitched panel, I want to tell you, and die cut it and stamped it on Bristol Smooth cardstock so I could do my no line coloring. The Tombos do not play nice with Nina Solar White cardstock at all. So I switched to Bristol. We'll just put some double-sided adhesive on the back, and then we're going to pop this to the front of the panel, and that instantly transforms this scene card in my opinion. I love it. So it's like hello and then this nice long phrase. We'll add our extra little water puddle here. I felt like it'd be cute to look like the turtle is walking towards the little water puddle. And then that extra flower. And I must keep that in the video. I completely forgot. So here's that water puddle being colored. And then some nice yellows and greens for this final flower. We will die cut those and add those to the card design. Don't be afraid to check out your stash of stamps and mix and match across companies if you need to. There are probably so many great things you can do with this. I'm kind of anxious to maybe try out some Colorado Craft Company or something images in this scene style box. I think there's a lot of really fun things we can do with that. And then I'll show you adding these final 2 images to our scene. Just gives that nice depth and dimension for our little flower garden. And then the little water puddle we're going to pop there. Oh, so fun and so cute. And see how it just folds flat and pops up? I love it. And there's a slim line envelope so you can see how it fits. Let's die cut that panel for the back of our card now from some Lawn Fawn Mermaid cardstock and stamp a sentiment from the brand new Mixed Wishes Greetings. I stamped that with a little peacock Lawn Fawn ink. We'll put some adhesive on the back of it. Now I stamped a small phrase, but then there's plenty of room to handwrite a message. If you just fold your card flat, like I'm going to fold it flat to place this there, you can just handwrite your message to the recipient. And there it is. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this Slim Scenescape Builder box card featuring brand new Mama Elephant stamps and dies from the May 2021 release. The supplies I used to create my cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another video featuring pop-up box cards that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.